What's up, guys? How you doing this evening? Happy Monday. We got an interesting presentation. Well, I mean, it's a continuation of what we were discussing last night, which, as you guys can see from the title, it got stricken from YouTube. It wasn't the song's fault. It was a community guideline strike or terms of service strike. They weren't specific, so I'm not exactly sure why it was taken down, but it is what it is. This all here, this taken care of. Sure you guys can see chat. Either way, I'm not gonna go back necessarily into the where we left off necessarily, because I want to go and go right to what Virgo Triad had, which was the sentencing, and I also want to go through, so people who aren't aware of what exactly, you know, Williams did, what eventually got him his sentence, as it were. So that's why I have this displayed here. Blow that up so you guys can see. And while that's playing, we'll go out just as okay. So this is the one of the initial cases, Hawaii versus Kababe. That's how I'm going to pronounce it, so we'll go with it. But this isn't necessarily against what's his face, Williams per se, but it does involve his mortgage reduction company and what he was doing to people, basically defrauding them. But in the meantime, I do want to go through the footage of his sentencing hearing, because it will also have like probably a description of what's going on with him or what happened. So that's going to be fun. So we'll at least start with this and hear his righteous indignation.
With the FBI, but with the DCCA. I sent the email, I sent the fax letter, and I showed up in person to personally make a complaint about what.
Oh, and I am also
my documents and scamming people.
I am also Jeremy Eden's second care package arrived. So thank you very much, Jeremy, for that. I really appreciate it. And this time it arrived unscathed, so all the beers made it along all the way. But tonight I am going to try. It's green, so the green screen is not helping it. But there's 2 pickle beers that he sent me. This is one of them. So I'm gonna try this out, and I'll definitely give you guys my assessment. As this is playing, I'm gonna steal myself.
Under
What's up,
my
Aaron?
good name and my good company name and my good company's reputation, I sent my process to the FBI office in every state that I was in. Now he's gonna sit up there and lie and say I chose some vulnerable victims when I was sought out by these people.
Oh God.
They're the ones that called me to Hawaii. I didn't know nobody here. They're the ones that called me here
It sure as shit smells like pickles.
because they saw the work that I did in the other states, such as Florida, which the Florida FBI put me under the same bogus investigation that this FBI did, but declined prosecution because they couldn't find any evidence of no crime because there was none. Because I was proactive before I set up my company up. I sent all my processes and documents
Salud.
to the FBI for them to scrutinize. If anything in it was fraudulent or could be deemed as fraudulent, to please notify me before I even set up my company. So there was nothing that I did that was fraudulent or intended to be fraudulent or that was fraudulent against any homeowner in any state, let alone here in Hawaii. I never represented myself as an attorney at law. My website that you all prevented from coming in.
It tastes like pickle juice. Like, I'm not even tasting beer. It tastes like straight up pickle juice. I'm gonna give it a second try. Yeah. Fizzy, carbonated pickle juice. That's what it fucking tastes like.
To the evidence.
What the fuck?
So specifically that I do not want to be an attorney at law.
Briny as fuck.
Neither am I a member of the Bar Association, neither do I claim to be a member of the Bar Association. I am a private attorney general or an attorney in fact. And the reason why I can claim that I was an attorney or attorney in fact for my clients, because every client filed a power of attorney, which is according to your own Hawaii Revised Statute 55-1D and also the Tennessee Code Annotated 30.
Okay, I have to go back to what he just said here because he's going off on his whole I'm not an attorney thing.
I claim to be a member of the Bar Association. I am a private.
Okay, that doesn't matter. You don't have to say to people I am an attorney or I'm a member of the bar to be charged with and convicted for the unlicensed practice of law or the unlicensed practice of law. You don't have to declare that to people. You don't have to say that to people. It's your actions that determine it.
Private attorney general or an attorney in fact. And the reason why I can claim that I was an attorney or attorney in fact for my clients, because every client filed a power of attorney, which is according to your own Hawaii Revised Statute 55.
Hey, Preston Nick.
And also the Tennessee Code Annotated 34-6, 109 through 111. And this is how I'm able to represent and assist.
Having power of attorney does not mean you can represent people in court. I really wish sovereign citizens would get over that meme.
All my clients in courts in all the states that I have an office set up, also under the federal law.
And I'm going to get something else. I don't like wasting alcohol, but I can't. I can't. I'm going to get something else. The taste is still lingering on my fucking lips. Like, it's that sour. It's fucking carbonated pickle juice. Who the fuck thought this was a good idea?
On the next friend, I was able to assist clients here in Hawaii and other states, which they were on video with me assisting clients here with no problem with several of the federal judges and state judges in these courts here. None of the documents that I filed were false or fraudulent. I've never been charged with false documents in Hawaii, filing false documents, because I had all my documents approved by the district attorneys in the counties I was in, the anti-predatory lending database, and also the FBI, that nothing I was filing was fraudulent or could be construed as fraudulent. The witnesses that they were able to coerce at the trial by lying, the Madambas gave me a affidavit stating that I was not the one that scammed them, but it was Henry Malinay, Annabelle Baby, and Rowena Valdez. Those are the people that scammed them, but 5 years later, they were coerced by the prosecutor to be able to lie on the stand that I lied to them about what their process was. And it's very upsetting and disturbing that these prosecutors would cherry pick the MBI application and only mention the homeowner's guarantee service or the homeowner service guarantee, but fail to mention the foreclosure disclosure that every client had to file and had to sign, which specifically stated that if they were facing foreclosure, in foreclosure, that they did not qualify for the mortgage reduction program.
Okay. So this is the another one that I think is going to be a little bit more palatable for me is from Jeremy's care package is the Punkel from Lakewood Brewing Company. It is a pumpkin pie spiced Dunkelweizen. So I think I'll actually enjoy that a bit more.
And that's what all the clients here understood, that I would be fighting in their foreclosure and helping to assist them to stay in their homes, which I did, which is reflected on the record with the plethora of motions that I filed, that most of my clients are still in their homes. Of the 112 people, probably 3 or 4 people are not in their homes.
Okay, that's irrelevant.
And they're not in their homes not because of me. It's because I was unlawfully incarcerated for 9 months where I could not litigate on their behalf on things that was not my
I was in jail. That's why I couldn't scam my clients more.
Fault that I was incarcerated wrongfully. I won my case and came back to assist these same people. I did not represent myself as an FBI agent. The government witness, Melvin Ventura and Mary Jean Castillo, both testified, especially Mary Jean. She was.
Bear in mind that this is a sentencing hearing, and the judge is going to make note of it. But this is a sentencing hearing. The jury's already passed their verdict. He's already been found guilty of all 32 counts. The reason for his discussion is to make a case for why he shouldn't be sentenced for X, Y, and Z. Not to try and relitigate his case that's already been done and dusted.
He was in those conferences with a lot of those clients that were signed up, that actually even was testifying.
32 counts of wire fraud.
To prove that
I think the judge is going to tell him what he's potentially facing.
I did not make those
and what he eventually gets. She will hand down her sentence at the end of this.
Representations. Those people blatantly lied on the stand. I showed the documents where they lied.
By the way, the Dunkel is much, much better.
Lorraine Troxel stated that I didn't do anything for her. I showed by the exhibits how many motions I filed on her behalf. I had to take over her litigation, which she had went to Edna Franco, and I had to step in to take over that litigation to keep her in her home, which she still is. I did not cause any harm to any clients, and that's the reason why I did not have any complaints filed against me from that day to this one. Still, even the people that came to court that testified still never filed a complaint against me because I did what I was supposed to do. The FBI agent, Megan Crowley, took it upon herself to go to my clients' homes unannounced, uncalled, and did a 302 report. In all of her 302s, not one client stated that I scammed them or defrauded them. Those 302s were not let to come in to the evidence where the jury could have saw her own words that these people that she interviewed stated, I did not do anything wrong to them, but I did everything that they paid me for and also still worked for them when they couldn't pay me. Henry, now he tried to allude to the notion that Henry Malinay and Annabelle Kababy were victims of mine. These people were liars. They were scam artists.
I think he's actually referring to this Kababy. Hawaii versus Kababy. Because so now he's trying to throw his coworkers under the bus, it looks like. Because here is well, now that we have Anthony trying to relitigate his case, let's go and talk about what they were doing. And this court case here, I think does a good job of describing what they were doing. Homeowners in Hawaii were targeted by MEI, that is the mortgage company, to purchase a mortgage reduction service that would supposedly reduce by 1/2 a client's mortgage loan balance, monthly mortgage loan payment, and the remaining term of the loan. Prospective clients were told of MEI's perfect success rate refund policy and were provided with a copy of MEI's written guarantee of a full refund. MEI's service was sold to customers, consumers being people who would use the services primarily for personal, family, or household purposes. Because there was no legitimate mortgage loan reduction service for consumers to purchase, essentially everything represented to the consumers about the service offered by MEI was false. At all times, MEI was operating with the intent and purpose of defrauding consumers in Hawaii. In furtherance of the fraud, MEI recorded financing statements and mortgages in the Bureau of Hawaii Consumer Affairs Bureau, none of which were supported by consideration. Gotta have that consideration. Going back to my my contracts classes. The phony MEI mortgage reduction service was sold to homeowners by various people affiliated with MEI, including but not limited to Kababe and Malinay. There we go. Consumers were told that MEI was overseen by the Common Law Office of America, a group of so-called private attorneys general, which included Kababe and Williams. So Kababe was part of both the Common Law Office of America and MEI. Consumers were provided with legal-looking forms, which appeared to have been prepared by attorneys. The guarantee benefits of the reduction service was supposedly obtained through financing statements, which identified the consumer's property. The financing statement would be filed in the Bureau and would provide that any mortgage recorded against the property is discharged. MEI would also typically record a mortgage in its favor for no consideration, and the payment thereunder would be 1/2 the monthly payment due under the consumer's original or real mortgage. The MEI mortgage contained language similar to that found in the MEI financing statement that any other mortgage recorded against the property is null and void, because, you know, if you just write that down, that makes it true. That makes it legal. Despite the ineffectiveness of the service, consumers were misled to believe that the service was successful. Consumers were provided with file-stamped copies of the recorded financial statements or mortgages, giving consumers the impression that the service seemed to work just as the consumers were told it would. Because the consumers paid in advance, the service was designed so that the consumer had purchased the service before having the opportunity to discover that something might be amiss. MEI instructed consumers not to make payments on their original mortgages to their lenders and servicers, giving the appearance that the reason payments would no longer be required is because the service worked. In furtherance of the fraud, consumers were asked to make future mortgage payments to MEI in an amount which, not coincidentally, was 1/2 the consumer's original or real mortgage. MEI instructed lenders and services not to contact or communicate with the consumer borrowers, citing the retention of closed attorneys by consumers. Pretty good racket they got going. MEI directed lenders and services to communicate through the consumer's attorney, being one of the so-called attorneys at CLOA, acting pursuant to a power of attorney. There we go. The consumer executed in favor of MEI. MEI's attempt to cut off communications between the consumers and their mortgage loan lenders and services helped to conceal the fraud perpetuated by MEI. Numerous bogus mortgages and bogus financing statements have been filed in the Bureau by or on behalf of MEI, purporting to impact the property interests of the consumers. Kababe used the bogus service to encumber her own properties. As Kababe's properties have been sold, the sale proceeds constitute an asset of the bankruptcy estate, and in the absence, the declaratory relief sought by OCP claims now exist to the proceeds from the sale of Kababe's properties based upon the disputed lien rights of MEI attributed to its bogus bureau filing. So this was a bankruptcy. Okay. Now it's making sense. Kababe filed for bankruptcy, and now the properties are, because they were part of this whole MEI scheme, they are, wrapped into this whole bankruptcy litigation. The only MEI filing with the Business Registration Division of the Department of Commerce and Consumer Affairs, DCCA, is the attempted registration of the MEI trade name to Williams, which falsely represents MEI as being a Tennessee corporation. MEI is not lawfully incorporated in Tennessee or anywhere else. Nothing would have authorized MEI to operate as it did, but in the absence of an effective registration bid with Breggs, at no time was MEI permitted to conduct business in Hawaii. Yeah. At the time, that roughly coincides with the incarceration extradition of Williams to Georgia to answer for an unrelated criminal charge. What we saw last night. The business of ME was set up by Kababe and others. As was the case with MEI, ME targeted homeowners to purchase mortgage protection service that would supposedly reduce by one half a client's mortgage loan balance, yada, 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 the same shit. Same stuff. The same type of fraud as MEI, using the same phony business model, except ME did not take or record mortgages. ME relied instead entirely on bogus financing statements filed in the Bureau, which identified the consumer's real property and which contained language purporting to discharge any mortgage recorded against the consumer's property. Yeah. So that's what happened here with this guy's scheme.
Because of them scamming people. And
I am not going to reread that as Herbert Wazoo.
Specifically Annabelle, because Annabelle's the one that told me that Henry Malinay and Edna Franco had opened up a bank account, but she didn't tell me that she was one of the signers on it. So I defended this woman all these months against the DCCA, thinking that she was an innocent bystander when she was one of the main culprits in the fraud and setting up the mortgage enterprise to try to make it look like it was mortgage enterprise investments. Then they try to allude to the fact that I tried to make my mother into a victim. And the reason why my mother even was involved is because the FBI went around to all the banks here in Hawaii and made me close my bank. They closed all my bank accounts that I had set up here in Hawaii for my clients here. And I had to set up an account in Texas so my clients can have somewhere to send their payments to. Because
that explains the so that explains the wire fraud. Explains the wire fraud charges and guilt verdicts. Is trying to set up these accounts and do these wire transfers.
I wanted to make sure that there was a paper trail for everything that I did. This is not the modus operandi of a scam artist. Scam artists do what Henry Malinay and Edna Franco and Annabelle Kababe did. Take money from people, cash money with no receipts.
Money.
And no work and no services rendered. That's what they did. I videotaped me going into court defending these people. I videotaped me going to the FBI,
I bet you did,
making a complaint against these people for the fraud they committed against me, my company, and my clients here in Hawaii. You all heard testimony from clients that knew these people. Miss Rosie Thomas, Miss Elabila Jao, Miss Mila Castro. These are Filipinos, Hawaiian people. And they're talking about I targeted vulnerable Filipino. Filipino people were not the only people that I had as clients. I had Caucasian clients.
Oh, so you targeted, non-Filipinos as well. Good to know that you're diverse in your scamming.
I had Samoan clients. I had Hawaiian clients. I had African-American clients. I had Hispanic clients. None of them were vulnerable. The Filipino clients that most of my clients were college educated. They weren't ignorant people. They were.
Hey, Deacon. So we are now at the sentencing hearing for Mr. Anthony Troy Williams that we were discussing last night. He was found guilty of 32 counts of wire fraud related to his scam business and scam mortgage business and scam law office. So this is his sentencing hearing. But of course, because this guy, you know, I just read that his business wasn't even incorporated at all. It's not an LLC, not an S corp, not a C corp, not nothing, not even a partnership. So his thing is, this is his sentencing hearing, and of course, he doesn't realize that he is now trying to relitigate the case instead of trying to argue for a lighter sentence compared to what the prosecution's asking, which the judge is going to recite what the prosecution's asking, and she's going to provide her sentence at the end of this.
They want scam, they want duped into signing up with my program. The program was explained to them fully and sufficiently, and I took my time to go through that. It's not complicated. It's not a whole lot of legal jargon. So no one was scammed or no one was duped into signing that application and signing up for my services. Before anybody signed up for my services, I always encourage them to do research on me to make sure they understood who I was, what I am, that I'm not a member of the Bar Association. Neither do I ever want to be a part of a corrupt association like the Bar Association, where it's okay to lie in order to get a desired result. I cannot do that. I represent my people with integrity and honesty, and I always would do that.
Pretty sure I can get sanctioned if I lie to the court, or I could be sent to put up on disciplinary charges.
Mr. Williams, you've been speaking. Mr. Williams, you've been speaking for about 10 minutes, and I'm happy to hear your argument with regard to an appropriate sentence. But you are really rehashing the trial, which has been held, and after deliberation, the jury has found you guilty of 32 counts. So it's not helpful to the court if you want to argue with regard to the sentence, the reasons why an appropriate sentence would be less than what Mr. Yates has argued for. I'm happy to hear it. Otherwise, rehashing the evidence presented at trial is more appropriate on appeal. So I'll give you 3 more minutes if you want to bring up any points with regard to your sentence.
Well,
not really.
The sentence is ridiculous. A 30-year sentence, a sentence that is...
Okay, the prosecution is recommending 30 years for the 32 counts of wire fraud. 30 years.
Far beyond a sentence that a murderer would get, a rapist would get, or anyone that actually had victims. This sentence that they're proposing is, quite frankly, racist, is discriminatory, and it shows the disposition of this prosecution that they didn't charge not one Caucasian employee of mine here in Hawaii or any other states, but they only charged me. And now they wanted me to serve 30 years for assisting people into staying in their homes, and they know good and well that the people that did lose their home, it wasn't because of something that I did. It was because the banks foreclosed on them illegally and unlawfully without a trial by jury. And I did everything that I could to keep those people in homes. And the ones that did get foreclosed on was because I was incarcerated. Ms. Thomas and other ones that was able to keep in contact with me are still in their home because of what I did. So they're proposing a 360-month sentence or a 30-year sentence when Henry Malinay and Annabelle Kababy haven't done a day in prison and are not going to do a day in prison because of the way that they got a plea deal and then was taken off my case as a co-defendant so they wouldn't be subjected to these inordinate and ridiculous sentences for mail and wire fraud. Also, under the mail and wire fraud statute in the United States Code, under a Class C felony, the maximum you can get for a Class C felony is 12 years. And now they have 30 years on a wire fraud and mail fraud, which there was no fraud that they ever...
30, okay. Maximum is 12 years, but you were found guilty of 32 counts. 32 counts of of wire fraud, not 1, 32. To answer your question, Deacon, pleading, guilty or not, or making a plea agreement with the if you plead guilty, I mean, you are, at the whim of whatever the prosecution's going to do. But if you make a plea agreement with the prosecution, that's where you negotiate how much time you may end up getting. But if you plead guilty, I mean, it's up to the sentencing hearing with the judge and the prosecutor saying, I think you should have this. You can argue against it, and the judge will make a decision on your sentencing there. But if you make a plea agreement, that's up to the defendant and the prosecution making that determination. Have I ever played Warcraft 2? No, my first experience with Warcraft was Warcraft 3. I played StarCraft though.
The emails or the 16.
Well, how many count? Well, if he's correct in saying that one charge, of the misdemeanor that he's been found of can give up to 12 years, well, multiply 12 times 32.
Payments that were sent, 16 payments that were sent, 12 by Mr. Ventura and 4 by Mr. Evelyn and Arnold Subia. And Mr. Ventura gave me several affidavits, and he testified on the stand that he still trusts me and still believes that I'm a man of faith and I'm a good man, because all the testimony that he said the prosecutor just... Now,
in fairness, here's the thing. If he was found guilty, and if he was found guilty of all the max sentence, though, they could also say that each term of the sentence can run concurrently. Now, if that were the case, then all 32 counts would he would be serving a sentence for all 32 counts concurrently, meaning it would be 12 years, because he's serving every single count concurrently. If it was consecutive, then you're looking at 384 years. But if they're being served concurrently, then it's 12 years.
He said that the other letters of support said that I didn't have integrity. That's a lie. The letters of support, if you read the letters from Dr. Horowitz, Sherry Kane, Ms. Robin Krakauer, Renee Powers, all of these are Caucasian people that know me, that I assisted in their fight against foreclosure. These people are not ignorant of the law. I made sure that they researched. Everything that I did was honorable. That's the reason why I was transparent with my company. So a sentence of any days in prison is a travesty of justice. It's a miscarriage of justice. I've already done time illegally and unlawfully for a crime that I did commit in Florida. He brought up the Florida case. I was not convicted of Florida with the same conduct. This is what they're alleging. No, I was convicted in Florida based on them saying that I filed documents to steal a house from Bank of America. There were no homeowner victims in the Florida case, just like there was no victims here. But they try to make it like it was the same foreclosure scheme in Florida, and it was.
Okay, I know nobody here has, I imagine nobody here has the greatest opinion on banks. Banks are going to be banks. Banks going to do banks things. But that doesn't mean you could steal a home from a bank just because a bank doesn't have the greatest reputation in our history. It's still stealing. It's still taking property that's not yours. So there is a victim when you're taking property that's not yours.
The same foreclosure scheme that they're claiming that I did, the FBI in Miami investigated me and declined prosecution. And the reason why they prosecuted me here, because they knew they could get an all-white or all-Asian jury that they could not get in Florida, because no self-respecting, law-abiding citizen could have sat on that jury and convicted me unless it was an all-Caucasian and all-Asian jury. And so I do not deserve any sentence because I did not commit no crime, and I still maintain my innocence. And I got witnesses that will testify today to that fact.
All right, thank you very much.
Whenever it's appropriate, Your Honor, I've been notified that there have been victims who desire some time to address the court.
Oh, okay, so you do want to present. All right. All right, so I think this would be an appropriate time before I determine the sentence.
Okay, Limu, you said it. Then as I spike it, I'll tell them how Liberty Mutual customizes car
The
insurance.
hell?
They only pay for what they need.
If you could come up to the podium. Good morning. If you could state your name and speak into the microphone so that we all in the court reporter can hear you.
Okay, I'm pretty nervous. Before I begin my testimony, I would like to acknowledge and give glory and honor unto Yahweh Elohim Yeshua.
Okay, so with the way she just said that, you could tell she's already fallen into the rabbit hole, and she's about to speak in support of him.
Who is
Could you
in control of
state
this
your
court
name?
proceedings today.
I'm sorry, could you tell us your name?
Yes, I am getting to that. My name is Rosie Esprecion Thomas, and I'm here in testimony to support Anthony Williams. Thank you, Your Honor, for allowing me to give this testimony today. I respect you and I give you my thanks. To Anthony, thank you for trusting me. I respect you. I love you as my brother in Yeshua. Mr. Isaacson, thank you, and I respect you for what you're doing for Anthony. To the prosecutors, Mr. Sorensen, Mr. Yates, FBI investigator, Ms. Crawley, thank you, and I respect you as well.
And you never open the deal.
And to all who are here today in this courtroom, and for all those who are listening in outside of this courtroom, aloha to all of you, and I give you all my love and respect to each one of you. Before I begin my testimony, I felt it is necessary to state my credentials, not to brag, but rather it is my humble intention
Credentials?
to affirm to this court that my intent is for all of you to quote unquote, to connect the dots and to validate my testimony as chronologically as I could to ensure and assure this court that my testimony are factual and are the truth, as I am monitored by Yahweh Elohim Yeshua, as it is him always that I answer to. 1981 to 2012, I worked full-time as a registered nurse in 3 major hospitals here in Oahu.
Okay.
Yeah.
My passion of my nursing career was working in the intensive care unit. 2006 to 2012, while working full-time as an RN, I slowly started my CMA,
Poor woman.
case management
Oh my God,
agency,
get her
as an
out.
entrepreneur, as my second job. My CMA's function was to manage the foster care home operators in Oahu and also to manage the care of elderlies who are our local pupunas who required placement in a foster care home as they required assistance in their basic care needs, done by the certified nurses aides who had gone through basic requirements of going through nursing classes.
This is a sentencing hearing, so now that I think the prosecution has given their basis for why he should be sentenced. Anthony gave his basis for why for his sentence, and now the judge in a sentencing hearing, they allow statements from the public in terms of interest. So the defendant's family will make a statement, the victim's family will make a statement about why they believe that this person should be sentenced for X, Y, and Z. So that's why she is speaking from this woman is speaking. It's clear that she sounds like she's speaking on behalf of Anthony Williams.
And then they were licensed by the state of Hawaii. 2013 to 2014, I was a certified legal nurse consultant. As a legal nurse consultant, I assisted lawyers in any of their cases discoveries. Because of my RN background, my expertise was best utilized in medical or health care related lawsuits to decipher and to interpret the medical semantics in a way that lawyers could understand the health issues of their client so they could knowledgeably defend their clients. I could also be hired as an RN medical expert in court trials.
Okay.
2015 to 2018, I was a licensed insurance agent with PFA, Premier Financial Alliance. In May 1970, my family immigrated to Hawaii. I was 8th grade at the time. There are about 184 dialects in the Philippines. I am quadlingual. Besides English, I could speak 3 different Filipino dialects,
Okay.
Tagalog, Ilocano, and Pangasinan, which are the 3 main dialects spoken by the majority of Filipinos both in and outside the country.
Okay.
Philippines is one of the few countries where Filipino children are automatically bilingual from the time they start school in kindergarten until college. Filipino school curriculum primarily taught in English, both reading and writing, due to the American influence that began in the early 1900s when William Howard Taft was commissioned by the U.S. government to establish an American civil government in the Philippines in 1902. In January 2013, I was faced with foreclosure issues.
I mean, she's not wrong in her history. It's just, where is she going to? Get to the point? I guess that's my thing is like, you get to the point, please.
My home and my parents' apartment, which I was also paying their monthly mortgage, went into foreclosure. As I was one of the dozen CMA case management in the islands, I would know who the caregivers are anywhere in the islands, whether in person or I am familiar with their names. Mary Jean Castillo, Annabel Cabebe, and Mila Castro, I pretty much knew them personally as members of the foster care home arena, whereas Lauren Truxell, I only knew her by name. She was also a caregiver. It was Mary Jane Castillo, hereinafter MJ, who introduced me to Anthony Williams' company called Mortgage Enterprises Incorporated. Right around the time she was hired as Anthony's employee, approximately May of 2013. I was one of Anthony's original clients dating back since May 2013 to the
Okay, so she was a client of Anthony in 2013, and then she bought into his scheme whole hog.
this date. My initial personal experience with Anthony was one that he was honest, sincere, transparent, and he explained the process of helping us, as there were other clients besides me who were also in the same office during my initial meeting with him.
Okay, that right there raises a flag. You and others are both, and other individuals are sitting down and listening to Williams and his spiel with other people. Normally, that is supposed to be a one-to-one conversation, regardless of whether it's a law firm that's talking to you or a mortgage, because this is personal information, right? It sounds like a seminar type of shtick, and that already raises scammer red flags. If she's one of several other people who are sitting in on Williams's presentation,
requiring his assistance because they are all in foreclosure. He introduced himself to us in that meeting that he is a private attorney general and not a lawyer, and he is capable of assisting us or anyone else needing his services in their foreclosure issues. I was not familiar with this term PAG, Private Attorney General, so I researched it later on. Since I was already in the foreclosure and court hearings has been initiated by my lenders, Anthony informed me that he did not guarantee that I would win my case, but perhaps he could detain them for as long as he could until I could get back up on my feet again. That was fair, and I accepted his rationale.
Detain them? What does that even mean? Detain them. But so
About a couple of months after enrolling in his program, Anthony was taken into custody at OCCC, Oahu Correctional Community Center, and everyone in his circle of friends and clients were.
I'll go find the where Anthony likes to cite here in a bit about private attorney general and what it is and what it's not.
Shocked. Ms. Castillo was one of the caregivers under my CMA. This was how we became close friends. MJ remained as Anthony's trusted employee, along with Sam T, who were the last two MEI employees. Since I no longer have a daily job, I was at her tail, so to speak, most of the time. The day after Anthony asked MJ to wire the money to Anthony's mom, Barbara, MJ showed me the receipt. MJ confided in me that she hired her own lawyer in the event that she might also be indicted because of her employment with Anthony's company. Per MJ, her lawyer instructed her to stay away from Anthony completely. MJ also has another trusted friend named Mel H, who was a captain in the National Guard at the time, doing his own pro se motions for his own foreclosures. MJ stated that she felt.
I mean, in fairness, I didn't know what a private attorney general is until I found out who this guy was. A couple of years ago. I think it was like maybe 2017. I think it was around 2016-ish, 2017 when I really got into sovereign citizens, and Williams was already infamous at the time.
For quote unquote abandoning the sinking ship. She further stated that I have to save my own self since I don't know how long Anthony will be in jail. I have bills to pay, unquote. But she remained in MEI to tie some loose ends, quote unquote, for at least a couple of months before she left MEI completely. Well,
Doug, we got to talk. There are some hiccups going on with your care package, but we'll talk about that later.
Anthony was at OCCC. MJ informed me that she was visiting Anthony for at least 1 to 2 times a week to bring him papers that he needed and to obtain instructions from Anthony on what he needed to do to continue in keeping Anthony's office afloat and to continue to assist Anthony's clients until he is released. Anthony is an honest, sincere, and highly dignified man, morally and ethically, besides being a highly spiritual person. Before MJ left MEI, she asked her friends, Mel H, Sam T, and myself, if we could assist Anthony and his clients once she's gone. It did not take us a second thought of agreeing to take on this responsibility because as Anthony's friends, we respected, we honored, and we believed in his altruism. Our primary goal was to give Anthony's clients the options of what they could do to avoid imminent foreclosures since we did not know when he was going to be released.
Emmy, I thanked him, and I can't thank him enough, and I can't thank Jeremy enough for just simply sending me care packages to begin with. For the record, on the record, and let the record show, Emmy.
Intent was to inform all the clients that were on the list, those who were willing to listen and those who were willing to work with us by, number one, tell the truth that Anthony was at OCCC that we don't know when he's going to be released. And two, we could offer them an option to apply for home modifications with their respective lenders in hope to buy time for these clients from being foreclosed on, hoping that Anthony would be released at OCCC within a few months.
Okay, every time she says triple C, I'm thinking of that. You know what? I'm not even going to complete that. That's a. Yeah, I'm thinking of something else.
When the three of us meet,
Okay, she's still going. I'm gonna go continue on here.
his perseverance,
She's still going on here.
altruism, the genuine. Anthony never would have thought that.
Oh my God.
Once again become a country filled with love.
Okay, sister. Dad?
Music is the universal language, and I quickly learned that while I was serving in the United States Navy. We could not speak the same language, but put a smile on someone's face by playing the drums.
We have help for you, so come on over. So I did. I went over there and met Anthony. Very nice
Oh, it's
person.
another one.
And the program was explained to me, and I thought it sounded really good, and I paid my $500 by check. Oh, I'm sorry, I can't even see my notes because of my tears.
Oh my God.
Okay, thank you. I forgot my glasses too. Okay, thank you.
Thank you guys for watching again. We got 68 people watching this evening. I really appreciate all the support. I can't believe I'm getting this much support. I thank you guys enough. I can't thank you guys enough. Thank you very much.
Going through the same process with the intent of keeping our homes, not, avoiding foreclosure. And I thought that was a great thing for Anthony to do, and I was very supportive of it. And I did, although I had other friends who were also going through foreclosure, they didn't participate in the program. When Anthony was incarcerated, I couldn't continue the process. So I then had to work with Edna Franco,
who is another accomplice in the scheme. And I feel like if the guy you're working with suddenly becomes incarcerated, wouldn't that raise a couple of flags about whether or not you should still be doing business with him or his associates? But that's just me.
And of course,
right. Well, they wanted to keep their homes. See, here's the thing, Deacon, and here's the reason why I do what I do in this thing. This is the reason for my channel. Is because guys like Williams, who either genuinely believes it or is simply a scam artist. I honestly can't tell with Williams. I think he actually is both a true believer and a scammer at the same time. They take advantage of vulnerable people like these folks who are at the verge of bankruptcy or foreclosure, who are about to lose their homes, and they take advantage of them by putting in this scheme that says, go through us and we'll be able to half your mortgage, half the time it takes to pay it off, and you'll be fine. Trust me, because it's all a scam. They're all about your legal fiction. It's all about your a fraud. There's no real money involved. There's nothing backing it. It's all a bunch of BS. The mortgage that you signed is fraudulent and void. So go with us, pay this $500 and then another $300 a month to us, and you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Don't worry about it. And Or in the alternative, you'll go to somebody who says like, you don't need a license to travel, or you don't need a license to drive a car. You have the right to travel. The government, the pigs, they're lying to you. The courts are all in on it. Buy my $75 get out of jail free card package, and you'll be set. All you gotta do is file this paperwork, file these templates that I pay you $20. $20, just $20 for a template. I mean, how much you gotta pay for an attorney to help you get out of that DUI charge? When all I'm asking is $20 for this template. Fill out who the state's it, what the supposed state is, because you all know it's fake, guys. Haha. Do that, and you'll be golden. You'll be set for life. And then eventually, what happens? The people lose their houses. The guy gets 2 years in prison, and another $6,000 in fines. And the guru / scammer / true believer still gets out, and is still on YouTube, and is still on his website selling this shit to people. That's my problem. That's what gets me heated, is because these people either know or should know that this shit does not work. This shit is bullshit. But they're still selling it to the vulnerable and the gullible. Because oftentimes their victims are, again, people who are in dire financial straits, people who are facing 10, 20 years in prison for some criminal act. Which, again, I have sympathy. I have a semblance of sympathy. People, you are entitled to a competent defense, right? Not sovereign citizen bullshit. That's not going to get you anywhere. But people who are dealing with a nasty divorce, who are in a custody hearing, who are in a fucking child support situation, that's the problem. That's where you go from, haha, it's funny that these people believe in this insane stuff, to where now they're actively ruining other people's lives because they're selling this shit for profit. And he got caught.
It was a lot more costly in terms of money. She wouldn't do anything for me unless I paid up front.
Hey, Jeremy.
The amount of $1,500 or $2,500. And of course, that set me back quite a bit. So I was like, okay, in order for me to get out of foreclosure, I got to pay you more money. You know, the bank, that money could go to my bank. But in any case, she eventually disappeared and left me where I was. Not any better, but probably a little bit more worse, because now I had paid her money instead of putting it into my mortgage. My experience with Anthony has always been that he's a very kind, compassionate, and was very, very helpful. That's how
con artists operate. Con artists are inherently, they're generally charismatic individuals.
When he came out of, I think during one of his incarcerations, I was able to get some more help from him, and I was able to go and file my own paperwork with his direction until he was incarcerated again.
So he was incarcerated twice while you were working with him, and it still didn't fucking raise an issue with you.
I was lost again, but I always found him to be very helpful. There was never any intent to harm me or anyone else that I knew that was working with him.
Of course he's not going to go out here with the intent to harm you.
He came across as a very humble person who was just there to help people to prevent foreclosure and to be able to stay in their homes.
Yep. I'm not a member of the Elite Bar Association. I am simply a private attorney general. I am not beholden to them. I don't have some major experience or major educational background. I'm just like you. I am one of you who has learned how these criminals operate, who has learned how the banks, do things behind your back, But don't get, but I'm not one of these, you know, uptown, big law, firms making $600,000 on the backs of the young ones, on the little people. I am just like you. Until I learned the truth.
And I saw a lot of people being helped by this man. And above all, he educated them. He educated us.
Jeremy, we need to fucking talk about your fucking pickle beer after this.
And not to get frantic, not to lose our hope, but that there are things that we could do in order to overcome the foreclosure or get out of foreclosure. So I find him being charged and being incarcerated heartbreaking, totally heartbreaking, because I only saw him help a lot of people, including Henry and all those other people that got the checks. I even witnessed that they got the checks and they spent the checks. This man did not spend those checks. I saw the many checks that they cashed. In fact, they even bragged about it. They even took a trip to the Philippines and had so much money they were throwing it out. And that broke my heart, because to have an honest man like Anthony being, I don't want to say the word framed, but that's what it seems to me. I don't know any legal terms and so forth. But it seems like he has been framed, and I am heartbroken because I only saw him help people to stop them from being foreclosed upon. And I'm here today to plead with you as the person overlooking this case. That it would be criminal to punish this man any longer, because
Well, it's not just that. He's a swindler who takes advantage of not just the financially desperate and the poor, but also people where English is a second language. ESL individuals. Like, on top of everything else. Jeremy, I took 2 large swigs, and the chat can verify that. I took 2 large swigs and poured the rest out because I can't deal with that anymore. If I wanted to down straight up pickle juice, I'd buy a jar of pickles at fucking ShopRite.
I know he's not there to put people out of their homes. On the contrary, he is there to help them stay in their homes. He takes his time. He doesn't pay. I mean, he didn't pay me for the hours of work that he put into. I didn't pay him. I paid Edna, who didn't do me any good, but Anthony did not charge me to help me, and I am still in my home today because this man helped me. So I'm here to just plead for him, for mercy, or whatever it's called, because I think this man has a good heart, and I don't think he's harmed any of the people.
Now that we've helped people customize and save with Liberty Mutual, finally do
the
something.
sentencing hearing, this was actually pretty recent, right? This was like last week. What the hell is this? The what now? The recipes for what, Dakin?
I suspect that the people that were harmed were...
Speaking of which, we need to talk to you about the ramen recipes you've sent me. I'm getting some hiccups in there, but I'll talk to you about that later.
Harmed by people around him who took the money and spent.
Oh, the receipts. Oh, the receipts.
Conduct the business of saving people.
Just 360 to 7,000.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Opportunity. I just want to make sure we're not.
All right, now we're done. Now we're going back to the judge, and the judge is going to make her sentence.
All right, let the record reflect there's no response. All right, so then the court's going to state the sentence and the reasons for the sentence. And then the special conditions, and then I'll ask the parties if there are any legal objections to the sentence before I impose it. So as the court had previously determined, the applicable guidelines are total offense level 41, criminal history category 5. The guideline range is 360 to 7,680 months. The court does
360 to 7,000 something, or wait, what'd she say?
Guideline range is 360 to 7,000.
360 to 7,000.
680 months.
7,680 months. 7,680 months is the max sentence that he's facing. James Butler, 5 pounds. Animal predators know how to identify the weak members of their tribe. Prey, gullible. He sounds like he's trying to sell a game cheat code. Well, most of the time, that's how they do that. That's how a lot of these sovereign citizens operate. They always say like, "Oh, I got the loopholes, the back door into the legal jargon, the secret code that nobody knows, the cheat code, the secret code that nobody knows that can get you your free money, your free house, your free bills, all that jazz, your free account that's holding like $6 million in your name." That's how these scams operate. This time it's dealing with the government. And unlike, an individual, the government don't play like that. You defraud the feds, they're going to come after you. You defraud a large bank, they're going to come after you.
Grant of the defendant's motion for a variance. And I am going to make the sentence you're committed to the custody of the Bureau of Prisons for a term of 240 months as to each of counts 1 through, for a term of 240 months.
240 months.
As to each of counts 1 through 32 to run concurrently. And all for a total of 240 months.
240 months, so 20 years. He's getting 20 years in prison.
And all to run consecutively with Florida case number 17-000074CF10A. So as I had the discussion with Mr. Yates, the court recognizes that under United States Sentencing Guidelines, Section 5G 1.3D, the sentence for Mr. Williams' case for the 32 counts may be imposed to run concurrently, partially concurrently, or consecutively to any prior undischarged term of imprisonment to achieve reasonable punishment for the instant offenses. Why I do believe that Mr. Yates has a good argument with regard to concurrent to the Florida case. I was persuaded by Ms. Thomas's testimony today, or her statement, that Mr. Williams continues to apparently advise people on the same thing that he got convicted in this case for, and that he got convicted similarly in Florida.
So she's actually going towards consecutive and not concurrent because he's still doing his bullshit while in prison. That's what she just said right there. He's still committing the act of what he's being charged and convicted of while he's in prison. That's why she's saying, like, no, you're getting, this is why you're getting the sentence.
And therefore, I think it is a continuing behavior, and that needs to be reflected in the consecutive sentencing. So that's my reason with regard to that. Supervised release of 3 years for each of the...
Yeah, that's BBQ. That's what makes it funny. The character witnesses fucked him over because they admitted that he's still advising them while he's incarcerated, meaning that he's not giving a flying fuck about the consequences of his actions. He doesn't think he's doing anything wrong. So the judge is like, he's that no remorse. He's not learned the consequences of his actions, so he's going to be punished even worse.
1 through 32 to run concurrently. No fine, making a specific finding that based on your financial obligations, particularly
Hi, the
for
person you're about to
restitution and
speak with has
loss
called
imprisonment,
captions turned
you are
on.
unable to pay a
They'll see
fine.
captions of what you say to
Restitution
help
amount
them
of
listen along.
All this feedback is not me. This is from the video.
$30,527.13. Special assessment of $100 for each count for a total of $3,200. The terms of your supervisory, you must abide by the mandatory and standard conditions of supervision, including the following
Supervised release.
conditions. The court waives the mandatory drug test condition because you do not have a recent history of substance abuse and the offense is not drug related. You must cooperate in the collection of DNA as directed by probation. You must report to the probation office in the federal judicial district where you are authorized to reside within 72 hours of the time released, unless the probation officer instructs you to report to a different probation office or within a different time frame. You must abide by the following special conditions. You must participate in a mental health assessment and any recommended treatment in a mental health program and follow the rules and regulations of that program. The probation officer, in consultation with the treatment provider, will supervise your participation in the program, such as provider, location, modality, duration, and intensity. Restitution of $230,527
$230,000
is due as specified in PSR Attachment A. Any unpaid balance is to be paid during the period of supervision in monthly installments of 10% of your gross monthly income, commencing 30 days after the start of supervision. The court may order this requirement to be changed from time to time as circumstances warrant, but no court order shall be required for your voluntary agreement to pay more than the court-ordered amount. Interest is waived. Payments must be made on a payroll deduction when applicable.
She didn't say when he'd be eligible for supervised release, or maybe if she did, it was in the middle of that feedback that was going on. Hold on.
You must abide by
It has called captions turned
you are
on.
unable to pay
They'll
a
see
fine.
captions of what you
To be reflected in the consecutive sentence.
Hang on.
So that's my reason with regard to that. Supervised release of 3 years for each of the counts 1 through 32 to run concurrently.
Supervised for release for to run concurrently. So he's getting probation on top of what the fuck? Wait, there's somebody at my who the hell is at my door? No. So okay. It was like a father and like a toddler. I have a ring, by the way. It's like a father and like a young child at the door. That's why I was like, this is weird. But oh, Doug, your package came in. Finally. So I got the care package. We're all good. No, I honestly don't know. I got can't function. Shit. Damn it! Ah, Gary, Doug, I'm sorry. Fuck. I'm so sorry. This is so random. Doug, I'm so sorry. It's like a tiny. It's like a pinprick. It's like a pinprick that because of the knife I used to fucking open up the package. It's not leaking anymore, but it was like a little bit. But I put the rest in the fridge. No, it wasn't a pickle beer. But the rest was saved. The rest all made it. The rest all made it just fine though. By the way, so awesome. I can't wait to try Black is Beautiful. That'll be a nice one. Put that on ice. What, the one with the little puncture? Devon is not already started. Devon doesn't know where I live. I have a. All right. We're done. We're continuing on. I apologize to the stream. Okay. I apologize to the stream. Fucking hell. I have enough fucking craft beer in my fridge now that I might as well grow out a neck beard at this point. Goodness.
That based on your financial obligations, particularly
Hi, the person you're about to speak with has called captions turned on. They'll see captions of what you say.
I don't even remember what she said, but he's apparently going to get supervised release after his sentence, after he serves his time.
You must submit patient in the program, such as provider, location, modality, duration, and intensity. Restitution of $230,527.13 is due as specified in PSR Attachment A. Any unpaid balance is to be paid during the period of supervision in monthly installments of 10% of your gross monthly income, commencing 30 days after the start of supervision. The court may order this requirement to be changed from time to time as circumstances warrant, but no court order shall be required for your voluntary agreement to pay more than the court-ordered amount. Interest is waived. Payments must be made on a payroll deduction when applicable. You must notify the probation officer of any change in financial circumstances that affect your ability to pay. Your financial circumstances must be reviewed by the probation officer on at least an annual basis. The victim's recovery is limited to the amount of their loss, and the defendant's liability for restitution ceases if and when the victims receive full restitution. You must provide the probation officer access to any requested financial information and authorize release of any financial information. The probation office may share financial information with the U.S. Attorney's Office. You must apply all monies received from income tax refunds, lottery winnings, inheritance, judgments, and any anticipated or unexpected financial gains to the outstanding court-ordered financial obligation at the discretion and direction of the court. You must not incur any new credit charges or open lines, additional lines of credit, or apply for any loans without prior approval of probation. You must not borrow money or take personal loans from any individual without the prior approval of the probation officer. You must maintain a single personal bank account separate and apart from your spouse and your family members or others, into which all income, financial proceeds, and gains must be deposited and from which expenses must be paid. You must provide the probation officer with a signed release authorizing credit checks and an accurate financial statement with supporting documentation as to all your sources and amounts of income, all your expenses, and any business you own in whole and part. You must provide the probation officer with access to any and all business records, financial records, client lists, and other records pertaining to the operation of any business you own in whole or in part as directed by probation. You must not be employed in any position that requires licensing or certification by any local, state, or federal agency without the prior approval of the probation officer. You are specifically prohibited from practicing law without prior approval of the probation officer. You must not represent yourself as a private attorney general, a lawyer, an attorney, a government employee, or law enforcement officer. You must disassociate yourself.
That's the other thing too. He was already in violation of Florida's rules that he got because he was on at the time he got sentenced to here. He was on 22 years of probation with the state of Florida, and where he was told that he cannot present himself as a attorney or private attorney general either. But here he is doing that again.
From the Common Law Office of America, Mortgage Enterprise Investments, and Mortgage Enterprise. Do not have any contact with any principals, associates, and or employees of these businesses. Should any of your family members work for these businesses, you must reside at a residence separate and apart from those family members. You must submit your person, property, house, residence, vehicle, papers, or office to a search conducted by a United States probation officer. Failure to submit to a search may be grounds for revocation of release. You must warn any other occupants of the premises may be subject to searches pursuant to this condition. The probation officer may conduct a search under this condition only when reasonable suspicion exists that you have violated a condition of supervision and that the areas to be searched contains evidence of this violation. Any search must be conducted at a reasonable time and in a reasonable manner. So the reasons for the court's sentence are stated in its aggravating and mitigating circumstances. The court certainly considered a total sentence of 360 months, but really focused on whether it should be consecutive or concurrent, and landing on the side that it's appropriate for just punishment for it to be consecutive because of the similarities and the consistency of them even today apparently continuing in the behavior. Further, to the extent that Mr. Williams has raised challenges to the amount of the loss and so forth, the court notes for the record that its sentence is actually below the guideline range, and therefore even if he is correct, which I don't believe he is in terms of the calculation of his guidelines, it's clearly a sentence that reasonably reflects both loss and his culpability. It's a significant sentence, but if for some reason the calculations were incorrect with regard to that, it's still well within, I think, the veil of reasonableness.
Thank you, Kat.
Before I impose the sentence as stated, Mr. Yates, any legal objections from the government?
No legal objection from the government, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Mr. Williams, any legal objections before I close the sentence?
Yes, I'm gonna have Mr. Isaacson chime in with the legal objections.
Mr. Isaacson, do you have any legal objections that you want to state?
Your Honor, in terms of the legal objection to the sentence, I believe it's under the statute, it is within your ability to impose a sentence. Yeah.
Thank you. All right, the court has considered the advisory guideline computation of the sentencing factors under 18 U.S.C. section 3553A. As I explained more fully in my assessment of the specific aggravating and mitigating factors found in this case, I have considered Mr. Williams' history and characteristics, as well as the serious harm to our community caused by his offenses and the particular seriousness and gravity of those offenses for those vulnerable in our community.
But you did not consider that, though.
So this is my turn to speak, Mr. Williams, and then I'm going to be asking you some questions as to if you want me to make any recommendations for the Bureau of Prisons. I have read the letters received on behalf of Mr. Williams. I've taken in testimony for 2 of his witnesses here at the sentencing hearing. I believe his sentence provides just punishment and equally important, I hope it serves as adequate deterrence to others. I've considered the sentencing guidelines and the policy statements and the law. All right, so Mr. Williams, do you want the court to make any recommendations as to placement by the Bureau of Prisons?
Yeah, to send me home because I didn't commit a crime. They couldn't get not one person that they said was
And here we go
a
again.
victim to come and speak at this hearing because they know they was lying.
I'm sorry, excuse me, Mr. Williams. So you want me to recommend to Bureau of Prisons placement in Texas, in that area, or when you say send you home? Is that
do you want me to send you to a institution in Texas? Is that what you mean by home?
Atlanta.
All right, because of family relations in that area.
There you go.
That's correct, but I won't be able to do any prison time because I'm gonna get this returned before my Florida anyway.
Oh yeah.
Right. So, you'll be serving it after your Florida term of.
I mean, the judge can actually take into account, where he's being placed, especially in, when it comes to the feds. Because of a federal crime, it's a crime against the United States, so he doesn't necessarily have to be housed in a federal institution in Hawaii, or or in Georgia, for example.
But I will make the recommendation of designation to the Atlanta area because you have family relations with regard to that. So you were convicted after a jury trial, Mr. Williams. You do have the right to appeal your sentence as well as your conviction and the manner in which your sentence was determined. However, there is a deadline for your notice of appeal to be filed, and it has to be filed within 14 days of the judgment of your criminal case, your conviction, and sentence. If you file later than those 14 days, you could be determined to be too late and to waive or given up your right to appeal. Do you understand?
I understand, I comprehend.
Thank you very much. Anything further, Mr. Yates, at this time?
Nothing from the government, Your Honor.
And Mr. Isaacson, is there anything that you need to place on the record? All right. Then I thank everyone, and we are.
I want to place this on the record.
Well,
I need to place it on the record.
We're actually done with the sentencing hearing now, Mr. Williams. So good luck to you on your appeal.
And I just want to place on the record that all of you are going to pay for this. You're going to go to jail for this because this is not going to be. I'm not going to let you violate my rights like this because it's going to. You all going to.
And we're done. I think that beep is everybody leaving the call. To answer your to further answer your question, Deacon, is the best way to, you know, minimize the level of bias is to have safeguards in place. No, I understand that. I mean, bias is going to be happening there. You have the statistics there, you know, that allows you to record sentencings and the tendency of sentencings there. To have these sentencing hearings being placed on the record, so you hear what the judge is saying, what the judge's explanations are. You know, it's all about maintaining transparency and maintaining the statistics so that you can see where bias may happen, and to try and minimize and learn and prevent bias infecting it. But at the end of the day, judges are human just like everybody else, and whether they see it or not, whether they're even aware or not, they can be susceptible to it. It's an unfortunate reality, but it's something that I've learned, you know, growing up, that it's a thing, that it happens. It's just the best thing to do is to put in as many safeguards as you can, or be as open and transparent as you can to minimize bias. So that's that is the saga of Anthony Troy Williams. I kind of wish I could. I know I've seen his traffic stop, the body cam footage of his traffic stop in compilations compilations I've seen. Haven't found them yet. But I do want, now that we're talking about like courtroom transcripts and courtroom hearings. So if he violated parole terms, well, the punishment in terms of probation, well, it depends on if he's on probation or on parole. I think in Florida he was on 22 years probation. Probation means that if he fucks up, he has to go back and serve a sentence. Parole is different from that. But probation is like, if you fuck up once, you're going and serving in the full sentence. But I want to go back to this one thing that I think you guys know about.
Enter the courtroom of Judge Morty Durham Jr. The people are real.
We're gonna end it with this, though. We're gonna end it on a funny note.
This is his courtroom. This is Judge Morty. 60.
Hold on. I gotta get another beer for this one. Hold on. It'll be funny. Okay, before I go, Jeremy, I want to confirm with you that I think somebody at the folks at the fucking postal office basically drank those beers that were empty, because it just hit me when I was going to take one of the beers out in the fridge that the cap is on the wrong fucking beer bottle. Because I was about to get out the s'mores because it looked full. And I realized that the bottle cap is for Shiner Cold Front. So yeah. Fucking USPS, am I right? Wait, it's the right... Wait, the s'mores has the cold front bottle cap? Are you sure? Okay, well, let me ask you this question then. Remind me, are Shiners twist-offs? Or, you gotta use a bottle opener? They are twist-offs. Okay. Anyway. What the hell? Anyway.
50-year-old inmate Rick Allen is being accused of committing murder of a fellow inmate at Georgia Penitentiary. Mr. Allen claims that he is being set up and that his lawyer is requesting sexual favors in exchange for proper legal advice.
Okay, okay, Mr. Allen.
Right.
I believe that your case was going to trial not this Monday, but the following Monday.
It's actually really
Do you
good.
understand that?
Yes.
Okay, I tell you, if you need to tell me
S'mores
something,
is actually really good.
I'll let
Damn
you
it.
come up here to the podium so you can speak into the microphone, and I can hear you.
Yes. The attorney here. I'm wanting to fire him. And I don't feel like he's doing any.
Who are you going to hire?
I'm not gonna hire nobody. I'm gonna try to get a different public defender.
There isn't. You have a right to an attorney.
This lawyer has.
You don't have a right to a specific attorney.
This lawyer has made sexual advances on me. He's misrepresenting my case. He told me if I wanted him to do a good job, I had to let him give me oral sex. He's had doctors at Central State Hospital put a false diagnosis on me.
Okay, I know Mr. Wyatt pretty well, and I don't think he has the ability to make doctors at Central State do anything.
Well, they did it, and he's the one that had me sit down there.
Well, they may have done it, but I don't think that he had anything to do with it.
All right, well, he won't give me the discovery. There's things in discovery he's supposed to give me the incident and.
Okay, I do appreciate the Futurama references with the alien on the brain and what's her face from Kif's homeworld.
Told me that it was the discovery.
Okay.
They're alternating documents that I've read.
If you want the indictment, I'll make sure you get a copy of the indictment.
No, I'm saying I got the indictment, but he's not complying with discovery.
Okay.
I'm supposed to get the autopsy report, the coroner report, pictures of the crime scene.
coroner report?
Criminal background records. I want.
Is this a murder?
In the county jail.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm supposed to get the criminal background records, investigational summaries.
Mr. Wyatt, what discovery do you have?
I've given him everything I have.
You've given him everything you have?
Yes, sir.
He's given you everything.
This
Brain
is a murder
slugs, there we
case,
go.
and you're-
Huh?
This is a murder case, and you're telling me the only thing on Discovery is a 4-page indictment?
I don't think he's saying that. I think he's saying he's given you everything he has.
He ain't giving me no autopsy report. He ain't giving me no coroner's report. He ain't giving
Well,
me...
it may be that he doesn't have that. I don't know.
That's what I've been trying to get. He didn't give me pictures of the crime scene. I've seen other people go to trial on murder charges. I've seen what you're supposed to get. I'm not going to work with this attorney.
Well, you know,
It's not gonna happen.
You've got.
I'm not going to trial with this attorney.
Well, you've got two choices. One, you can go to trial with them, or two, you can try the case yourself. Now, I definitely completely think that's...
And I've got a right to have...
Wait a minute. Listen to me. That would be the biggest mistake you've ever made in your life.
So basically, you're sitting here telling me
now
you're gonna find me guilty if I go to trial and try to defend myself?
You're probably right.
And that's where the judge fucked up. And for the record, he did eventually recuse himself, and I think he got censored by the Judicial Ethics Committee after this. But that is definitely where he fucked up, where he basically told the defendant, I'm probably going to find you guilty without the trial happening. Fuck! The fuck is wrong with you?
That would be my guess if you try to defend yourself. You don't know anything about selecting a jury, do you?
No.
Do you know anything about cross-examining witnesses?
No.
Do you know anything about criminal procedure?
I know I don't have to let...
Do you know anything?
This guy suck my... to get some legal representation.
You know something? I'll be honest, Mr. Allen. I really don't believe that.
Well, I'm not concerned if you believe it or not.
But
I'm supposed to have a right to an attorney, and I'm not gonna work with this attorney.
Well, that's up to you.
So I hold myself in contempt if you try to pull me up here to court with that attorney.
That's fine. I mean, that's up to you. I told you what your choices are. You can go to trial.
I'm just telling you.
Listen to me.
I'll hold myself into contempt.
Listen to me.
You.
Listen to me.
Go yourself. I'm through here. Y'all done?
I'm finding you in contempt of court.
I don't care.
I know you don't, and I sentence you to 20 days for that. And if you say anything else, I'm gonna add 20 days for everything you say.
You.
40 days.
You again.
60.
Go yourself.
A year.
Your mama.
10 years.
Suck my...
Something, this is gonna be an interesting trial.
Oh yeah?
Oh yeah.
You're not supposed to smile in court. You know that if you smile...
I can smile anytime I want.
It's a violation. Now you're cussing and yelling
I
at me.
have not
I'm pretty sure smiling in court is not a violation, notwithstanding what the judge has already done wrong.
Yeah, you did.
I am yelling.
Well, go yourself. Suck my...
That's why I'm yelling.
Suck my...
You know something? You are absolutely the rudest person I think I've ever
I'll check
met.
that out, Gary.
You reckon if I let you suck my that I could get a fair trial here?
Oh, I don't think so.
I got a big now, and if I pull it out...
I don't think that's gonna get you a fair trial unless you have
I'm done.
every one of the jurors do it.
I don't think that mouth is big enough, sir. I've got a big old donkey.
You know, I'm sure mine's not.
I've got a big old donkey for that ass.
Good. I'm sure the women love it.
I don't girls.
Oh no. I'm sorry.
I boys.
Oh, I'm sorry. You prefer men.
I boys.
You prefer men, right?
I white boys.
You white or black?
White boys.
Oh, butt boys?
With big butts.
Oh, of course. You know, you look like a queer.
Well, okay, so now you're
Oh,
I didn't
no!
call you one. I said you looked like one.
You're yelling.
Do you
Semantics! That is fucking semantics, Judge. Sorry, with all due respect, Your Honor, that is fucking semantics.
understand the English language?
Wait, you're yelling, you're laughing.
Do you understand the English language?
This is kangaroo court, sir.
Kangaroo court!
Do you know what? No, we're not in
And of course the judge...
Australia.
because the judge doesn't understand the euphemism. He doesn't realize what he means by kangaroo court. That's what makes it even funnier. He's never heard the term of kangaroo court, so he thinks immediately that this is... No, we're not in Australia, dumbass.
I mean, if you want to suck my you can do it any time now. We can get this court ordered.
You're so smart.
Do we have to court order this?
You're so funny. You're so cute.
Can we get a court order to get my sucked, sir?
You're so cute. I know all the inmates just love you to death.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I bet.
All the white butt boys love me to death, too.
Okay, well, I'll bet they do.
And for the record, the prisoner's race is white. So that's on top of everything else That's what makes this even
And I
funnier.
bet all the rest of them do too.
You ain't supposed to smile in court.
I'll bet everybody enjoys sucking your.
You ain't supposed to be smiling in court. That's a violation.
I can smile anytime I dadgum want to.
Now you're yelling at me again.
I am. I'm yelling.
You're getting mad.
Can you hear me?
You're shaking.
I am yelling at you.
Well, reckon you could suck my
Yelling.
Can you take a break?
Yelling.
Can you take a break?
I'm yelling at you.
Can you take a break?
Yelling.
Can I get my sucked?
Can you hear me? Yelling.
Can I get my sucked?
Yelling. Yelling.
Are you ready to suck now? Have you got it all out?
You know something?
You will, but you want me to you in the butt then, right?
Oh my goodness. You've got plenty of that over in jail.
I could see it in you when I came in the courtroom.
Okay, that's fine. You're gonna be here on. Let me tell you how this is gonna work. You're gonna
You
be.
ain't gonna tell me shit.
Listen.
Suck my
Shut up. Listen to me.
Suck my you man.
Listen.
Suck my
You will be here in the court on
You'll
Monday.
be here sucking my
You will listen to me now.
Go yourself.
Okay, I'm going to tell you how this is gonna work. You either listen or not. I don't care.
I'm through. Can I leave the courtroom?
No.
No, you've got to stay here.
No, I'm not talking to the bastard.
We are going to have the trial Monday week.
No, the we are. I ain't going to trial with this lawyer present.
Listen, if you do not
Suck my you stinking ass cracker.
If you act like this, I will send you out of the courtroom.
Old bitch ass cracker.
And leave you out of the courtroom during the trial.
Horse ass cracker.
Do you understand
Horse
that?
ass sucking ass.
Do you understand
big
that?
Butt,
Do you understand
man
that?
ass cracker.
Do you understand that?
Getting mad, ain't you?
Stupid.
Red face.
Listen.
Now you're calling me stupid.
Listen. Yes, I am.
This is kangaroo court.
You know what? You have a constitutional right to be a dumbass.
Why don't you jump up on the stand
You have a
and jump
constitutional
around
right
like
to be a
kangaroo, you dumb bastard.
Well, if you-
Suck my I ain't listening to nothing you say.
Come in here Monday
And
weekend.
how about this? I'll kill your whole family. And when I get in this trial, I'll murder your whole family. I'll cut your children up into pieces. I'll knock their
And it gets bad, serious.
brains out with a hammer and feed them to you.
Are you taking this down?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm going to refer you to the district attorney's office.
I don't give a who you're referring to.
I'm just telling you.
I thought you were referring to my mother man.
Aggravated assault, terroristic threats, and we'll just
I
add
don't give
to
a
it.
I will murder you, your whole family, your kids. I am not supposed to be in jail. I was framed. That mother asked me to eat his ass for a bag of coffee.
Well,
and
you
now
know-
you're telling me
What?
that I got to.
Oh, wait. I thought he wanted to suck your dick for discovery, not eat your ass for a bag of coffee.
Go to trial with this man over here.
You're obviously
He's probably a pedophile.
You're obviously fixated on butts and.
Huh? I'm fixated on your mouth.
No, you're fixated on butts and.
You got a nasty mouth, sir.
I have an awful mouth.
You have a big old fat mouth.
I do.
You gotta have a big old mouth to get this in it.
I sure do.
All right.
Yep, I'm proud of it.
I'll make sure the next time I come to.
What was it? Was it Folgers or Bustelo?
Court, I'll pull it out and jack on you.
Okay, why don't you do that right now?
I jack on white boys.
Well, why don't you do that right now?
Just like I jack on females.
Do it right now.
Can't do it now.
Do it now.
I ain't got.
I don't care.
Take off the cuffs.
How many hands do you have to do it?
Take off the cuffs.
Come on. No. Jack off.
This is kangaroo court.
Come on, jack off.
This is kangaroo court.
Jack off right now.
Are y'all getting this?
Yeah, they're getting it.
I'm gonna make sure this guy done called me stupid. This motherfucker done told me he was gonna suck my.
I did not say that.
He wanted me to him in the butt.
I did not say that either.
You're a real nasty ass judge.
I am indeed, and you're going to find out how nasty I really am.
You'll find out how nasty I am when I murder your whole family, bitch.
Okay, that's fine. You know, you'll be in jail so long you won't have a chance.
The babies will be going, Daddy, help me. I'm just going to knock their brains out with the hammer.
But
okay, well, you know, if I had any kids, you'd probably be able to do that. But since I don't have any, it doesn't really
Well,
matter.
then I'll get your nieces, your nephews, your
It
sisters.
doesn't really matter. I don't have any of those either.
Grandkids.
I don't have any of those either.
Aunties, aunts.
How can I have grandkids if I don't have any kids?
Brothers.
How can I have grandkids if I don't have any kids?
Sisters.
Stupid. You know, you're just completely have no idea of the English language.
You're not gonna suck my sir. I don't.
So, thinking what you're saying is, you are. Folgers isn't worth eating ass for. I mean, I would agree as well. I have not been so desperate to eat ass for a bag of Folgers or even Dunkin' Donuts breakfast blend.
I don't want to be here.
Okay, I've enjoyed this. I hope you have. I know everybody else in the courtroom has enjoyed it, but you can go.
I
now,
have.
And if,
All right. Well,
if on Monday week this happens again, you will not stay in the
suck
courtroom.
my sir.
Okay.
I'm subpoenaing y'all's ass in the courtroom.
Wait, you have both Wait, you have both. Wait, Duncan and Folgers? Oh my god. Oh man. You said it was what was it? Gary, it was 128. Hello, Nada. I'm sorry. God. 129. All right. Wait, what?
Federal branch.
There it, okay, here it is. Yep. This is Anthony Williams traffic stop in Tennessee. No, Deacon, that was not something they wrote. That was an actual courtroom transcript. That actually happened. I think it was in Georgia. The judge had to obviously recuse himself, and he was. Wait, you guys didn't realize that was not a made-up skit? That was an actual transcript? Yes, that was an actual fucking transcript. Oh my god, I thought you guys knew this already. Hold on. Yes, that was State of Georgia versus Denver, Fenton, Allen. Yeah. Where was it? Wait, somebody actually fucking did a live video of it?
Hello? It was deemed to witness is the juror demanded sexual favors in return for legal representation.
Oh my god.
This is the defendant, Allen's attorney assigned by the court. He's being accused of demanding sex from his client.
The attorney here, I'm wanting to fire him. I don't feel like he's doing any.
Who are you gonna hire?
I can hire nobody. I'm gonna try to get a different public defender.
There isn't. You know, you have a right to an attorney. You don't have a right to a specific attorney.
This lawyer has made sexual advancements on me. He's misrepresenting my case. He told me if I wanted him to do a good job, I had to let him give me oral sex. He's had doctors.
State of Georgia.
Is it Central State?
Put a false diagnosis on me.
I don't know. I know Mr. Wyatt pretty well, and I don't think he has the ability to make doctors at Central State do anything.
There it is.
Well, he won't give me the discovery. There's things in the discovery he's supposed to give. He gave me the indictment. Told me that was discovery.
Okay.
All right, they're altering documents that I've read.
All right, there it is. 2016. And this is the suspect who talks about how he likes white boys. And that's the judge. The state judicial watchdog did ultimately take action against Durham, although the resolution received criticism from Georgia's legal community. Yeah. This is it was an actual fucking transcript, and somebody decided to make it in the guise of fucking Rick and Morty. It was real. I will post it in the live chat for you guys to look. There you go. All right. Back to Anthony Troy Williams.
You don't know?
No, it's the United States Office of the Private
I've
Attorney
never heard
General.
of the.
I know most people haven't.
Okay.
But it's been codified.
So it's been codified. Okay. So it says do not detain, do not arrest. Who gives that authority?
The FBI.
The FBI tells you that you can't be arrested.
All you got to do is call them, sir, and
Okay.
and they'll tell you.
They'll tell you I can't arrest you for
Yes,
anything.
unless I violated the law and committed a crime where where injured
most
party.
United States citizens are afforded that opportunity.
Well, no, they're not, sir, because most of them.
Oh, I can arrest people for no reason.
That's the license plate. That's what they do. So when I'm traveling, I have to have my own tags. Yeah, when I'm traveling, I can't use somebody else's tag.
Says who?
What do you mean says who?
Says who? Who gives you that authority?
The Constitution gives me that authority, sir.
Okay. Well, the state of Florida has rules that if this tag is registered to this vehicle, it has to be on this car.
But state of Florida does not trump the Constitution.
Okay. Well, you know what you're going to have to do then? You're going to get tickets, and then you're going to have to fight it in the state of Florida court.
Oh, I have no problem fighting a ticket.
Excellent.
A ticket means nothing because you cannot ticket someone for exercising a constitutional right.
Here we go.
Exercising a constitutional right to travel.
Okay.
Now, and see, this is the problem that I have with law enforcement agencies that really aren't very versed in the law. And see, this is what you all are thinking. You all think this is a motor vehicle. And see, this is what they're having all the customers, all the clients in Florida to register their automobile as a motor vehicle, and that's wrong. The Supreme Court case, City of Dayton versus the Pro, say specific.
Fucking bullshit. And I'll put that in here right now, and I'll talk about that fucking case right now, where he likes to cite City of Dayton versus the Pro Se. Fuck this guy. I've already read that case. Hang on. I have it here. The Brose, not the Pro Se, the Brose. Dayton versus the Pro Se. This was the case in 1939. And the issue was syllabus, where a city in an ordinance adopts the language of a statute, it is presumed to have adopted also the construction placed on that statute. 2. A trolley bus is not a motor vehicle within the meaning of Section 307 of the Traffic Code of the City of Dayton, regulating the operation of motor vehicles. In reviewing the judgment of the municipal court, a reviewing court must take judicial notice of ordinances of the municipality to the same extent that the municipal court did and had a right to take notice thereof. The issue dealt with a defendant charging with the unlawful operation of a motor vehicle. And there, in that case, they said that a motor vehicle is not a trolley bus, right? So he was charged incorrectly because he was unlawfully operating a trolley bus. It has nothing to do with fucking automobiles.
Specifically states that the term motor vehicle is a broader and different term than the word automobile. See,
right. A broader term. In other words, it encompasses automobiles and other forms of vehicles.
Automobile meaning you're not traveling for commerce or for pay. Motor vehicle means you are. That's the difference.
That's where he's bullshitting. That is where he's fucking bullshitting.
And see, that's why I usually send a letter to the chief and the sheriff. I just want too long got here. So I'll be sending a letter to your chief of police and your sheriff so they can understand who I am, why I have to have my tag on whatever car I'm in.
Now, who issued this tag to you?
Who issued it?
Eric Holder issued this one?
No. Now he.
Private.
Yes, private. Yes, private attorney general. Yes, private.
Let's run his driver's history. Let's see where he's at. Just stand by for a few minutes.
Where do you have a driver's license?
I don't have a driver's license.
You don't have any driver's license in any state of the United States?
No, sir. Do not have it. That's why you can call the FBI. So that'll clear all this up. So you're not going to call the FBI to verify who I am? Are y'all serious? That ID proves who I am.
So do me a favor, put your hands behind your back right now.
Put your phone down.
Right now.
We'll
So-
record everything. Don't worry about it.
Let go.
What am I being arrested for? So you can't arrest nobody for a traffic violation.
Well, we are.
Yes, sir. There are traffic violations that are misdemeanors.
No, sir, you can't arrest Thompson versus Smith, Shapiro versus Thompson said that a citizen cannot be arrested for a traffic offense.
Bullshit.
Yes, sir, that's the Supreme Court case.
There's a difference between a traffic.
All right, sir. Being that.
Yeah, bullshit. He going to jail now. He going to jail now. All right, I'm going to stop that. I'm probably annoying the hell out of you people right now. Yeah. No, Jeff, those charges were dropped. Ultimately, he was convicted in Hawaii for 32 counts of wire fraud and is also facing charges in Florida. So I believe those charges, they were filed in Georgia, but they were ultimately either dropped and or dismissed. I think that might be it. I think I might end up ending it there. I know, dead air. I know. It's not a good thing. It's not a good thing on a live stream if there's dead air and nothing's happening. I was just thinking to myself, like, should I end it now? Should I, have one more quick video to watch with Mr. Williams? I'm not going to sing, and I'm not going to watch more of Gale, for the love of God. What is wrong with you? No amount of well, you're going to have to super chat me a fuck ton of money for me to watch another fucking Gale video, all right? It's going to take a lot of money for me to actually watch that shit. You don't want to know.
Good afternoon, everyone. Virgo.
Well, this was footage from his Florida case, though.
Here, and this is a Snoop for Truth update on Anthony Williams, Private Attorney General, as he called himself. On March 3rd, 2020, a jury found Anthony Williams guilty of all 32 counts in the superseding indictment in the case of United States versus Anthony Williams in federal district court in the District of Hawaii.
And that's his self video. That's his badge. He has handcuffs as a private attorney general.
2017-CR-00101. Williams was charged with wire fraud and mail fraud in connection with a fake foreclosure rescue scam on the island of Hawaii. Williams targeted homeowners facing foreclosure and promised them that he would stop the foreclosure of their homes and cut their monthly mortgage payments in half if they would.
No, not that, Gail Scott.
Plus an amount equal to half of their mortgage payment every month thereafter. So Williams simply replaced his victim's mortgage holder with himself on the receiving end of his victim's mortgage payments every month. on the receiving.
There is no... okay, here's where you know where he's full of shit and he's a fucking fraud. There is literally no office of the private attorney general. None. Period. Whatsoever. That's how you know he's a scammer. Putting in UCC 1-308?
And of his victims' mortgage payments every month. Williams provided his victims with a written money-back guarantee that would be successful in this endeavor. Thereafter, Williams did nothing to stop foreclosure on his victims' homes except to file worthless voodoo documents in a public record which has no effect whatsoever on the foreclosure or on the property in question. Williams did not honor a single written money-back guarantee. Williams sent the money he stole from his victims in Hawaii to his mother in Texas to hide
Wire fraud. Money laundering.
it from his victims and from law enforcement authorities in Hawaii. Williams is scheduled to be sentenced on July 24th, 2020. Williams was ordered to be held in custody.
This is as a result of his Florida shenanigans. 180 days in jail, 22 years in probation.
Until sentencing. Williams was previously convicted in Florida for a similar scam in that state and was sentenced to 15 years in prison there. Williams will likely spend the rest of his life in bars. To read more about this, please see the link in the description of this video, and please be aware that additional documentation will be provided very shortly on the Virgo Triad channel. Just wanted to make sure everybody was updated on this. Again, March 3rd, 2020, a jury found Anthony Williams guilty of all.
All right, fine. Somebody recommended to me this guy, and oh boy.
Let's hold. I'm not impressed. Let's smoke. I'm not for.
What I need you to do though is, and I need you to listen to me. I need you to go to the office and make sure that all the cameras are reset. So that way, the cameras are ready for the weekend.
Yes, Jeremy DeWitt, who is a serial police impersonator.
What do you mean? I need you to go to the office and reset all the cameras, including the car cameras, so that way all the cameras are ready for the weekend.
For English, press 1. For a collect call, press 0. Press pound. Please enter your 12-digit TID number. Please enter the area code and please hold.
Hello?
Hello.
So that's his vehicle, which, for all intents and purposes, looks like a police vehicle.
This is a free call from
me,
an inmate at the Orange County Corrections. To accept this free call, press 0. To refuse this free call, hang up. This call is from a correction facility and is subject to monitoring and recording. Thank you for using Global Tellink.
Hey. Hello? How are you?
Who's this?
It's Jeremy.
What the hell? Why are you calling me from jail?
Because the fugitive unit picked me up today.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No, I'm not. And I'll tell you some weird things. And I Recycle, you're like my friend, and I love you like a brother. So I hope you're not the one that's doing this.
What?
Yeah, because
Dude, I'm
Corporal
working right now at
Ramsey,
the haunted house.
I know.
I'm working at the haunted house, bro.
Corporal Ramsey told me that you and your, I'm not using names, but you and your brother told them that I was doing all these things.
What?
Yeah. And in fact, your brother called me right before they pulled me over and said, "Hey, aren't you in the tow truck today?"
Tom Castro with the $5 super chat. Jeremy DeHalfwit is even more entertaining than Devon Bay.
Cancel
Wow.
his lawyer. And I was like,
Who was?
just, huh?
He said, who was canceling his lawyer?
He was thinking about canceling his lawyer so he could get money back for his mom.
Who was, though?
Huh?
Who?
Your brother.
My brother?
Oh my God. We're on a recorded line, buddy. Your brother? You guys grew up together in New York?
Oh.
So, and Corporal Ramsey said that he knew who was driving what, and, I don't want to get all worked up, and I don't want to get things going, but, I just hope that you and your brother are not the ones that are doing this to me. So.
Dude, I'm working at the haunted house. I didn't even know what the hell's going on. I literally been getting, I guess that's probably been you that's been calling. We've been so short-staffed. It's like my first time getting on break.
Yeah.
And
So,
Jess has been calling me. Everybody's been calling me. And
who called you?
Jess.
Oh.
Jess and Dylan and everybody's been calling me. And then I was wondering what the hell's going on. Then ATW, been calling me and everyone's been calling me.
Yeah, they're charging me for impersonating a police officer for the incident with the off-duty deputy. They're saying because I got out of the truck and I yelled at him to get out of our funeral that I'm impersonating.
So are they coming after all of us? Or what?
No. In fact, Corporal Ramsey told me that they're not coming after any of you guys, which makes me think that somebody's snitching on me. Because he was saying all kinds of things that don't make sense. And I was like, that doesn't even make sense. I think
Snitches get ditches.
I can't figure it out. I don't know if they're lying or if they're telling the truth. I don't know.
So what are they saying then?
They're saying that somebody was giving them information. I mean, they looked at the picture and they named all of you on the picture. And they said, oh, we got this information from somebody. And then he accidentally, the picture of us at the charity event.
Okay. I was expecting... what was I? The one I've seen before was, I think, this one.
Mr. DeWitt, how long has your license been suspended?
4 days ago.
It is.
No, I just talked to the courthouse today.
It is. I'm not gonna. It's not a question if or if it isn't. I'm just asking you, how long has it been suspended?
It's not.
I'm telling you it is. If you didn't know, then just say I didn't know it was suspended. Sir? Stay in the car for me, sir. Stay in the car for me, sir. Stay in the car. Do not reach in your fucking pocket. Put your fucking hands up now. Drop your phone now. Do not reach into your pocket. Put your phone down. Face that way. Stay in the car. Hey, secure her. Yeah. David, go around my back and secure her. Gotcha. Put your phone down. Put your hands up and face that way. Stop walking. What are you doing? Stop walking. Listen to the directions. Walk backwards towards me. County Tax 29. Come to town for a minute. Slow down. Walk slowly. Walk slowly. Stop walking. Do not pay attention to her. Pay attention to me. Put your hands up.
I'll explain it. Give me a
Put
second.
your hands up.
Do you have anything on
Do
you?
you not listen? Follow simple directions. Put your hands up higher.
Do you have anything on you?
Do not move.
All right.
When a cop pulls you over, it is not a good idea to reach the right waistband. That is a very, very bad idea.
Why are you cuffing my wife?
Nobody follows directions.
Come on, dude. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't.
Is anybody else in the car?
No, nobody's in the car.
Face that way. Face that way.
Don't do that to my wife, man. Just because you guys don't like me, don't fuck with my wife, please. She didn't do anything.
Okay.
What's going
Lean up against here. Well, right now it's a simple traffic stop, and you didn't listen.
Oh, come on.
Okay.
I saw you pull behind me. We were coming here to pull over so you could pull us over. Rania, stop. They will arrest you for resisting. Rania, stop. They will arrest you for resisting. Stop talking. Stop talking. Rania, stop talking.
Stop yelling. Stop yelling. Stop yelling.
Are you 50 in me or do I have a warrant?
Am I what?
Are you making a traffic stop or do I have a warrant?
Well, right now I was doing a traffic stop until you want to get out of the car and not listen to me and reach into your waistband. Very bad idea.
Come on,
Very bad. Don't do that.
Sir, I'm not trying to resist you or do anything wrong.
Have a seat.
We're trying to find out what's going on.
Have a seat.
Please, hey, please.
Can you put your knee in?
I'm not trying to be disrespectful or give you a hard time.
Okay, we'll get everything sorted out, but the very bad thing is that you do is you hop out of the car when I pull you over, you turn to your side and start reaching into your waistband like
I was
this.
just reaching for the...
How do I know? How do I know what you're doing?
All right, sir.
Thank you. Okay.
Where am I going?
This way right here. You got it.
Why are you cuffing my wife? Don't do that. Don't do that.
Where am I going? Where am I going?
He'll explain everything in a second.
Don't do that to my wife, man. Just because you guys don't like me, don't fuck with my wife, please. She didn't do anything. What's going on?
Well, right now it's a simple traffic stop, and you didn't listen.
This is a simple traffic stop.
I saw you make...
Sir, I work in a hospital and operate on a life
I got you.
people's life.
Okay. Well, the reason.
This is humiliating.
Rania, stop. They will arrest you for resisting.
Okay.
Rania, stop. They will arrest you.
Listen to me. The reason why we came at him like that is because he got out of the car extremely fast. He was making furtive movements. We don't know what he's got. We don't know. But just hear me out. Hear me out. We don't know if he's got weapons in there.
Every time we go get food, we get stopped.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
we
I
just
understand
lost
that.
our
But
baby,
I'm just
sir.
okay.
Like, come on.
I get you. But I'm just explaining to you why we came out the way we did. Okay. If that makes sense. That's the reason why he's in handcuffs and you're in handcuffs, all right? Because of the way everything transpired. Make sense? And right now, you're not under arrest. You're just detained right now. Just in handcuffs, okay?
Okay.
So,
all right.
you figure everything out, okay?
There you go. You guys got your fill.
Turn to your side, start
I hope.
reaching into your waistband like this. How do I know? How do I know you're here? Thanks.
If you want, you can sit down right here.
True.
Okay. He'll explain to you what's going on.
Do I call now? Can I explain to you what happened? I don't know if you saw it from the other side. Okay.
But did you need to leave him in the car or you want to pull him out?
I think I'm going to take him out. I'm going to give him the riot act to make sure he doesn't do that stuff again.
All right, we're gonna end it here. Thank you guys for watching. Much appreciated. I might stream on my gaming channel tomorrow. I probably will be streaming on my gaming channel tomorrow. I will not be streaming Wednesday through Sunday.
Very good.
I will be on my vacation for Thanksgiving with my family.
Okay. Please don't act out. Okay. Do you understand what just happened there?
So I will be back on stream on Monday.
About what happened there. Are we going to do that again? No, sir. Okay.
So keep in touch. Check out my Discord.
Okay.
And you guys have a good night. Take care.
Front of this car that you're leaning
Thank
on,
you
okay?
again, all of you, for your support. Always appreciated. Again, if you want to see me play the video games, that's where my other channel's at.
When you went to make a westbound turn, the right-hand turn.
It happens.
Red light, you
Okay.
have to come to a stop
Take
on
care,
the right.
guys. Have a good night. Adios.
All right, Deb.
Okay.
You say so, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
I know Thanksgiving is next week, not a brat. The reason I'm having celebrating Thanksgiving this week is because my brother, he's a cop. The only way we can really celebrate Thanksgiving as a family is to have it the weekend beforehand. So that's what we're doing. All right. See you guys later.